Oh, that's an interesting one. So recently moved devices from one config manager site to another. Both were syncing devices to the same Intune tenant, and we now have duplicates. What is the easiest way to clean that up? So a couple of ways, maybe. One, you can wait for, assuming this is only duplicating on the Intune side. I guess I should ask that. You're only seeing duplicate objects on the Intune side, or are you seeing them both in Intune and Entra? Um, from there, my answer might be a little bit different. Uh, Correct. Just Intune. Okay. So if it's just Intune, um, a little bit of PowerShell scripting would probably be able to. Oh, both true. Okay. So with Intune, a little bit of PowerShell scripting, um, you could compare last activity time on your devices here. For example, when I go and look at my Windows devices, I've got a last check-in time that shows, in this case, I've got some that haven't checked in since July of 2024. So two ways you could do that through PowerShell, or I can go. You can see I have some automatic device cleanup rules. I have these very long in my lab. At least I consider them to be very long. Your organization may be this long, or actually that's the longest you can go. So your organization may be this long, or they may be even shorter. These device cleanup rules are going to automatically clean up those duplicates eventually, depending on how you have this configured, if you have it configured. Otherwise, PowerShell checking last check-in time, um, assuming that the duplicates don't have the same last check-in time. I would say the same for Entra, which you're going to have to use PowerShell for Entra anyways, if it's more than a handful of devices, because Entra has no concept of automated cleanup. So if I pop into my Entra tenant here in my lab, and give that a moment to load. You can see I've got devices that in my lab I don't often clean up in here, and I don't want to, because then I can provide examples like this. Um, I've got a bunch of device objects that if I was in production, I probably shouldn't have devices that haven't had activity in the last 3 years. So you can use a little bit of PowerShell to go ahead and clean up these old devices that haven't checked in a certain amount of time. There are a couple of scripts that we would normally share for this. Let me see if I can pull them up here real quick. Let's see. So I know Joss Lieben has one. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one too. From Mr. T-Bone. So this, I think we've shared this one before when this was released. It was a little over a year ago. So if we go down to, his script here, basically it's going to key off of some of that information using the Microsoft Graph module. So you can set how many days in the past you want to disable those devices. So if you've got a device that hasn't had any activity in Entra in the last 60 days, it's going to disable it in this current default setting. And if there's been no activity within the last 90 days, it's going to go ahead and delete it from Entra. And then let's see, is it a different one or is it the same? Yeah, it looks like this is the same script. We'll deal with both Entra and Intune. So maybe this will help in your scenario. So let's see. I could only wish for the device cleanup. Boss doesn't want to for asset reasons, but we'll need some persuading. But a good 1,000 devices. They'll have a newer activity time now. Have cleaned up some manual ones recently in the UI, which was painful. Absolutely painful, especially for 1,000 devices. So this would be my best recommendation. Is using this PowerShell script. I do have one or two more that I just can't find quickly that are other potential options that I'll make sure we drop in the links for this evening. And those should get you started at the very least, hopefully a little bit of inspiration to help. And this is the important part with any of these scripts. Just make sure that we all have a boss, right? So make sure you've got some agreement on when on the activity date that you want these devices disabled and then deleted. And if possible, this is definitely something that I recommend throwing in production as well to keep those things clean, to keep your tenant clean, to keep Intune clean, and things like that. So I will make sure to post this evening.